Hello, yeah, you're joining us here now at the pre-show for Queer and Pleasant Strangers. So I'm here with Laura. Laura, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm very excited for another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers. What sort of announcements and what sort of segments can we expect in today's show?
Well, I mean, traditionally we have so far seen 70 episodes, which featured, there's been some skits. You're looking forward to some skits?
Oh, I always like some skits. Do you reckon we might get some silly character voices?
Possibly silly character voices. I'm hoping we'll get to hear the Social Justice Warriors, always a bit of a fan favourite.
Oh, indeed. I'm personally crossing my fingers for a Keanu Reeves cameo, but...
I mean, anything is possible in the realm of Queer and Pleasant
Exactly.
Strangers.
Oh, I think they're getting ready to start.
They're getting ready.
Are you ready for all those announcements?
Greetings, strangers, queer and pleasant. I'm not Laura K. Dale.
And I'm not Jane Harris Magnet, and welcome to another episode of Queer and Pleasant Strangers, that podcast where two queer trans ladies have a bit of a giggle, talk about our weeks, do some voices, do some skits, have a bit of a pleasant catch up.
A queer and pleasant
Yeah,
character.
how have you been?
Sleep deprived.
Same.
Sleep disturbed.
Yeah, it's been a week, huh?
It's been that E3 week.
It's been that E3 week, and it's been my first week being back as the solo creator, not on a day job, and then also E3 happened.
Yes.
I've been very busy and very tired.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Understandably. I, on the other hand, have been trying to keep up with just the day stuff. I'm a day walker.
You're a day walker. I'm a night walker. I was nocturnal for a few days. I missed a few days. I woke up for work for work in the morning. You'd already gone.
I had.
I know. I slept until noon the other day.
Wow.
I know.
Well, not that I hadn't given you a goodbye kiss, but perhaps you hadn't noticed.
I was very sleepy. In my defence, I was still streaming at like 5 a.m, so
Yep.
like it's been one of those weeks.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
So, amongst all of the things, have you had a chance to play anything?
Yeah, I played one thing
What
a
did you
lot.
play?
I played a lot of a game called Roller Champions,
Ooh.
which is a game that by the time you hear this, you won't be able to play.
Aw.
It was we'll get to E3 stuff probably during the watch.
I mean, this is an E3 thing.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the majority of the E3 things. I mean, in the watch section, but during Ubisoft's E3 conference this year, for anyone who's not aware, E3 big video game conference. One of the things they announced was a game called Roller Champions, which is kind of, sort of roller derby-ish. We'll get to that in a second. But they released a demo on PC for it, and it was only up for like 3-4 days, I think. So I played a lot of it, because I play roller derby in real life, and I enjoy roller derby. So I'll start by just like, if anyone is into roller derby, I will explain the differences between actual roller derby and this video game. So you do have to skate anti-clockwise like roller derby to score points, but instead of scoring points by like getting through the pack and doing a lap and getting points for passing the skaters, you get points for throwing a ball through a ring. However, in order to keep the spirit of the sport alive, it's still very short sessions. It's not your 2-minute jam, but you've got, I think, 7-minute matches. And you're basically trying to do as many unbroken circuits of the track as you can while you're holding the point scoring ball, which is emotionally or like it tonally feels very similar to. It feels like trying to get your 3 passes past the pack to get enough points before you call off the jam at the end of the 2 minutes. It's that sort of feel. A lot of the contact stuff you can do differs from actual roller derby. Like, you can do contact against the back, you can do head-on collisions, stuff like that. It's a little bit gamified that they're not, sending you for penalties or whatnot for that. It's on a banked track with sort of raised, sloped sides as opposed to a flat track.
Like a velodrome.
Yeah, so like for some American roller derby players that might be familiar, but if you play in the UK, most people play in the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, which is, as the name suggests, all flat tracks.
It's usually done in like gym halls.
Yeah, exactly. We don't tend to have readily accessible specific roller derby venues with banked velodrome style tracks. But the game is really fun. I'm not usually a fan of like multiplayer only online competitive games. I'm not usually a fan of sports games. This really captures the energy of a sport that I enjoy. I like roller derby because it's a primarily female-led, very queer, very customizable kind of outfits sport, and it keeps like the speed, the tone of the contact, the fact that you will get sort of bashed and bruised a lot and just have to quickly get yourself up and keep going. It really rewards you playing it like it's actual roller derby. The instinct when you first start playing is to try and get the ball so that you can be the point scorer and you throw the thing through the hoop and you get the points. That's just how video games go. You want to be the person who gets the glory for getting the points. This game does not reward you for that. It rewards you for sticking together as a pack, for doing the jobs that aren't the glory, but that make your team win. You get a lot more points for your team winning than you do for individual successes. The best way to win is to stick together as a pack, and if one of you gets the ball, do everything you can to defend and attack for them. Do things like put your body between the person who's got the ball and the other team, so that if the other team try and like tackle them to knock the ball out their hand, you are a body in the way. You'll probably get tackled before they will. Try and keep an eye out for who in the court looks like they're going to bash into your point scorer, and like try and take them out, try and get in the way of them before they get a chance. You need to be supporting the person with the ball, because the chances are they won't be able to do well by themselves. When you have the ball, you lose the ability to do like dashes and things like that. You are slightly slowed down, which means inevitably, if you're at the front of the pack with the ball, people can slipstream, they can dash, they can catch up to you. You need your team there to like create contact, to knock over anyone who's chasing you, to be a body in the way, to sort of get in the way. You have to play it like roller derby, and I think that's why, like, despite all of its exaggerated arcade stuff and the differences in the rule set, it still feels like roller derby. It's a couple of small teams on track, one person can score the points, but, like, they're never going to score points without the support of their team. And you have to be like, it's okay if I don't score any of the goals in this match, because I am supporting the point scorer, and that's the important thing. Yeah, I really fucking loved this demo. I maxed out the level cap on the demo. There was a couple of tracks in the demo. I think it looks like there's gonna be 10 in the full game. There were 2 in the demo. One a nice sunny outside track, and one that was a darker indoor one. They both had a very different feel to them. I can't wait until customization gets added to this game, because customization of appearance is such a big thing in roller derby. It wasn't in the demo. I want to make my custom character that I can do my roller derby with.
Yeah, I was chatting to Persnickety on Twitter about this,
Yeah.
and how we want like customizable stickers for your helmets, and bandages, like customized bruises.
Is it. No, I need to be able to get like customized bruises, picking your hair length, picking your hair colour, sticking stickers all over your helmet. You need to be able to be picking your skates out, picking what colour wheels you have in your skates. Do you have shorts or leggings? If so, what design? Like, there's so many things. Like, I could see this being a monetization rabbit hole for customizing your racer, and you know what? If that's the case, they might get me, because I want to have my custom racer, because I really enjoyed this game. Oh, also, they let you use inline skates, which you would never use in roller derby, because you need quad skates, so that if someone bashes you from the side, you can actually have a chance of staying upright.
But there's not a chance of turning your ankle over, as you were having that conversation also on Twitter the other day.
Sort of. But yeah, if you're going to actually not just get knocked over the first time someone makes contact with you, you need to be on quads, which is why and also they have different speeds to them. Like in real life, inlines tend to go faster than quads, which is why they normalize everyone to the same standard. But I really enjoyed that game. I can't wait until that comes out. I'm gonna play so much of this fucking roller derby video game. What about you? What did you play this week?
I didn't play a lot, but I did play a few things.
I think you played more than I did.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I did. Let's see. I played Full Throttle Remastered.
Oh yeah, that the point and click one.
Yeah.
Is that Way Forward or is it Double Fine?
I think it's Double Fine.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I'm going to say it's Double Fine.
I think
anyway.
it's Double Fine.
Pretty sure I got it in a Double Fine pack at some point.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's you play Ben, the leader of the Polecats, who is being framed for the murder of Malcolm Corley, who is the old guy that runs the company that is the last company in the world that still makes motorcycles.
Yeah, you're a biker who got framed for the murder of the last man who makes motorbikes.
Yes, and now the company wants to make minivans.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's an interesting little. It's very short. It's an interesting little story. The music's great. The Gone Jackals do the soundtrack, which is on their from the album Bone to Pick.
The sections of that game that are not point and click do not seem fun.
Yikes! Luckily, there is like since the original game, there is like just a keyboard shortcut that will get you through fights.
Yeah.
So I think it's like left shift and V. And it would just be like, haha, you've fallen off your bike now, bye, I win. Because I remember as a kid going through that whole section just again and again and again. And most of the fights that I won were more fluke than anything else. I remember it taking me weeks to get, not only to do the things, but to work out how to do the things.
Yeah. Even with this shortcut and your knowledge, this seemed like mostly fluke when you were beating things.
I mean, the first 5 or 6 fights I did normally, and then after that I was just like, don't care, I'm doing the cheat. Now, somebody in chat actually mentioned something that I've never done before, even though I've beaten the game fairly previously. Apparently you're supposed to grab a handful of fertilizer and throw it in somebody's face. And it's weird, because it makes sense of a comment that somebody else says when you knock them off their bike. They say, my eyes!
Oh!
And I'd never thought about that before. I mean, I assumed, because you're using weapons and stuff, that's a not unreasonable thing. So I guess what I was supposed to have been doing all these years is at least throwing something in at least one person's eyes.
Wow.
It would have made it so much difficult. But the final fight, you have to find this one person that's riding a bike that's, not, sit on a seat and lean back like a hog.
Yeah.
This is more like a literally hands on the front wheels steering it.
Yes.
Like a racing bike almost. It's really, really short, and they basically, as soon as you get too close, they'll push out this little oil slick, and that'll have you straight down. But basically, you have to sort of get to a point where you've got the weapon, which is basically a 2x4, and then just sort of get close enough, wait for them to pop their head up and have a look around, and then just whack them around the back of the head to get the key item to progress with the game.
But yeah, it's a short game. You got through it in a single sitting.
I think I got through it in about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that was still with much waffling and occasionally going, I've kind of forgotten what to do.
But it was fun, and it seemed like it had a good sense of humour to it.
Yeah, it's got good sense of humour. It's got some great voice acting. You've got Mark Hamill in there. There's some great lines in it. There's a bit at the beginning when your character grabs the nose ring of the bartender, because he's basically lying to you. And it's just, what is it? You know what might look better on your nose? What? The bar. And you were saying, because you came and sat in on that stream, just the fact that I know most of the lines from that game by heart, despite not really having played it any time recently. It was nice. I like my old LucasArts point and clicks. I hope one day they do a remastered edition of The Dig.
Oh, heck.
Because that looks really ropey now.
Yeah.
But I love it in it's way too difficult kind of way.
Yeah. What else did you play?
What else did I play? Let's see. I've started playing A Hat in Time again yesterday.
How are you getting on with it?
I was a bit upset to see that my save hadn't cloud saved, because I completed it, I don't think I'd 100%ed it, but I nearly 100%ed it. And I was like, yeah, I'll go in and I'll try the new levels from the expansion. And then no, I had to start from the beginning.
Did you have fun at least?
I did. I enjoyed it. It's a very sweet little game that it's got a lot of character and characters. And it's just fun and silly and it has a lot of heart. And I'm very much loving it. The characters are super cute, and it's just silly fun. I do really want to see about the Yakuza section, which is the expansion, because I want to see this trans flag.
Heck,
that's sprayed up on the wall somewhere. Have you got any others?
No, I think you've got one more.
I've got one more. I started playing Cursed Mountain because I've got the Wii out.
That Wii game.
While I had it out for Wind Waker, I was like, I could put everything away. Or...
Yeah, you see, this is a game that you stopped playing once before because the nunchuck motion controls are not great.
None of the motion controls in that game are great, and it relies so heavily on them for every single fight.
So here's what I got from watching just chunks of you playing it. You're trying to climb a mountain because your brother disrespected the rules of the mountain and shit went bad. So you've got basically a Ghostbusters proton pack, but when you successfully zap the ghosts, you then have to do a bunch of motion controls that don't detect properly. Is that about right?
Kinda.
Oh, it's not a ghost. It's not a proton pack. It's
an ice pick.
Oh, is it an ice pick? It looked like a fucking trident.
Well, that's because I have different attachments for it. So you start off with basically just a standard ice pick that's been blessed by someone and the handles wrapped.
Yeah.
And I think some blessings have been done over it. And you then sort of get this weird hook thing, which you can use to sort of slice through stuff and slice through some of the ghosts. And then you have, then later on you get a spike thing. And then you get another one that's it looks like a sort of opening lotus flower. Ooh. And you, basically, depending on which one you've got, they all do slightly different attacks. So some of them are better for sort of ripping and tearing things, and also for sections where you need to tear down a piece of cloth in the background. Some of them will be this is basically a pistol, so you can shoot at the ghost to weaken them before you try and perform the rituals, which is basically hand motions, which is why it's motion control. So I get it, but at the same time, it feels a bit. The controls are unresponsive as fuck. Yeah. Although I have realised in the last. I reckon I'm probably into about the last hour of the game, that if you just sort of vaguely waggle it really lightly, it actually works much better than doing it.
Than trying to do the actual, the big sweeping motions that it asks for.
Yeah, because I was doing sort of quite heavy push forwards, and it's the push forward that I always have trouble with. And this morning I was just I'm just going to just shake it ever so slightly forward. Okay, that seems to have done it. What the fuck?
It's like many Wii games, you get on better if you just half-ass your motions.
Yeah.
It's like Wii Tennis where people would play it by just flicking the wrist.
Yeah, that's never as fun, is it?
It's never as fun, but it is undeniably more accurate at registering what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I think they did bad at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't really had that problem with the Switch, but then I haven't really had anything that has required large amounts of motion.
No, not a huge amount, no.
No, I mean, most of it's been things like Zelda.
Yeah.
With, the rolly ball puzzles.
Yeah.
But not much apart from that. But yeah, the story is, white guy wants magical thing from up a sacred mountain, and rather than doing all the things that locals say are required to honour the mountain, which is their goddess, they're just no, we're going up, fuck you, and I'm gonna kill this woman who's supposed to be the apprentice of, the wise woman of the village. And, oh look, now you've opened a portal to the land of the dead, and these hungry spirits are coming out and killing, an entire city. So you start the game at the bottom of the mountain, sort of wandering through this completely abandoned city. And then you could sort of go up to smaller villages, and then a monastery, and then eventually it's just sort of high altitude stuff, trying to deal with can you keep enough oxygen in you? And then, like, base camps, upper base camps and stuff. I'm right near the end, but, like, the story is horrible.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, white people fuck us up again.
Are you at this point powering on with it just to get to the end?
Yeah, because I bought the game maybe a decade or more ago.
You want to just be like, I'm done.
Just want to get to the end of it.
Just fucking snap the disc when you're just like, I'm done.
I don't know if I'll go that far, but I certainly just want to see the end of it. One thing it does have is the fact that it widescreens well.
Yeah.
Like, Wind Waker looks really stretched if you try and play it in widescreen.
Yeah.
But this, like, even the text sections is like, that looks really good and passable.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's one positive, I guess.
Is that everything you've played
That
this
is
week?
everything I've played this week.
Well then, time for this. This E3, we thought we'd like to tell you about our brand new game. It's all sorts of things that I think are important to tell you about. It is authentic.
We are going for a genuine, authentic experience, and you know, we have some award-winning people from across the industry. There will be all kinds of amazing cinematics.
The cinematics are going to be so dynamic. You're going to be engaged. It's going to be engagingly dynamic.
And it's going to be absolutely epic. Don't worry, though, we have absolute exclusivity on this free-to-play, but not play-to-win game, which you'll be surprised to find it has gone gold.
It has gone gold. I'm glad that we're getting into the nitty-gritty of all of these facts about our game.
Absolutely. It's going to be the most explosive, immersive, high-octane game, full of infinite possibilities. It's got an open world,
It's
mature? Available right now for pre-order.
Oh, goodness, is it mature?
It is indeed mature. It's pushing modern-day hardware to the limits, including future hardware like Project Scarlet.
Oh, goodness. That sounds like quite an over-the-top game we're creating.
Exactly. We've realigned our resources, we're refocusing our efforts, and we're reimagining what video games mean.
We're remastering everything revolutionary in our retro-inspired season pass.
We're ready to ship millions and millions of copies because our Metacritic scores will be through the roof. Or not. But if they aren't, you'll be happy to see a new version of this spiritual successor or the spiritual successor to this game in the future, because we've streamlined future gaming content as just more value.
It offers so much value, it's visceral levels of value.
And we're hoping that it's going to win multiple E3 awards.
Yeah, but what is it, though?
What?
What genre?
It's a video game. It's free to play, not play to win. My head.
Oh, goodness, I never thought it was possible. I think we might have drunk too much sherry.
It was that Brian David Gilbert.
Oh, the Z3 drinking game.
Yes, he was surprisingly correct on so many levels.
I think the problem is I did too many drinking games. I was trying to follow like 3 separate E3 drinking game bingo cards at once.
Oh, I just upped everything from shots to bottles.
Oh, that too. I was there every time that. Oh goodness, the number of drinks I had to take when the fucking car showed up in the Microsoft conference.
Right.
So predictable. Someone did suggest because it was Lego, maybe I didn't have to drink, but that's for quitters.
Then, yes, we are not quitters.
No.
No.
If a car of any kind shows up on stage, I don't care if it's Lego, I'm necking the barrel.
Indeed, I had to have, like, the water hoses they use on students.
Oh, yeah.
I had one of those just full of sherry, just gushing it down me to...
One of my E3 bingo drinking card slots was CGI trailer that tells us nothing.
Oh, good gravy.
I was drinking every couple of minutes.
Yes, I had that down as 3 shots on my card, so naturally that was 3 bottles, and by the time I'm pretty sure I got through about 6 tankers worth of port.
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, hair of the dog.
Don't you mean head of the watchdogs?
Oh, yes, I'm in that, you know.
Oh, yeah, did you play Hacker Granny?
Yes, I shot that copper in the face. A-cab, bitches, A-cab.
Good on you!
So, what have you put in your eyes.
Just a lot of E3.
A lot of E3.
A lot of
Let's
E3.
talk about all of the E3.
Yeah, so some of these we can probably just like skim past pretty quick. So PC gaming show. It was 2 hours of like some somewhat interesting looking PC games that were just padded out with huge lengthy interviews with developers that were fluff piece interviews that said nothing interesting.
I still haven't watched that one yet.
I will say this for the PC gaming show, as I've said many years in a row, cut out like half of the interviews you do and you will have a much better show.
Pacing, people.
Yeah,
Pacing.
pacing.
You can do the interviews afterwards when everyone can just tune out.
Yeah, do a thing where you're like, hey, let's do an hour of like pretty
Trailers,
back-to-back
trailers.
trailer, and then go, hey, here's the PC gaming conference post show. Did you want to know more about any of those games? Well, we're going to do interviews with all the developers.
Yeah.
And then
like every other
Yeah.
fucking...
and then you don't have to rush your interviews so much.
Yeah.
And people in general will have a more positive view of how your conference went.
Yes.
EA. The main thing they did was they showed off footage of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Mhm.
It looked like a polished video game. The combat, it's hard to tell without actually trying it. It looked like fun combat, probably. Did you
Yeah.
watch that gameplay?
I'm trying to think what was specifically in EA. I'm scrolling back through my timeline.
So
on
there
Twitter.
was Apex Legends updates. They're adding another character.
Didn't
She
care.
makes electric fences. There was Battlefield 5 is getting some new maps.
Didn't care.
There's sports games, FIFA and Madden. Didn't care. The Sims.
I didn't watch that bit.
I had tuned out before The Sims happened as well.
Yeah, you ran off to go and do your stream.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not really that fussed about sports or The Sims. Off we go. Ubisoft. We can talk a bit about Ubisoft.
I liked the beginning and the end, and I was bored as fuck through the middle of it.
So the beginning was what was that fucking thing? Watch Dogs Legion. I want to play a hacker granny.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not super. Oh my god, their whole insistence that this new Watch Dogs game isn't political. It's set in post Brexit London, where the National Health Service has been dismantled, so Grandad has to buy a kidney on the dark web with cryptocurrency. There's human trafficking happening in Camden markets. They talk about how it's like the rise of extremism and a fucking authoritarian government and a surveillance state. It's not political.
Absolutely not political, Gav.
It looked a lot like London. Like
Piccadilly Circus looked great.
Camden looked like Camden. Like that's Camden Stables, and there's that giant statue of a horse that for some reason exists in Camden. There was the inside of a pub, and I was like, that looks authentically like an English pub. That's not an American trying to guess at an English pub. Someone's been in an English pub.
Someone's been to a pub.
Yes.
Adventure Time in Brawlhalla?
Yeah, that I don't play Brawlhalla, but
I don't play Brawlhalla, but I like Adventure Time.
Indeed. That was where we got the roller champions. That's it.
Yeah, it felt more like Rollerball than Roller Derby, but there we go.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it doesn't follow the rules of roller derby, but it feels like roller derby once you're playing it.
Gods and Monsters towards the end there, that looked pretty.
We got a CG trailer for it. It was very painterly.
Too many CG trailer.
Yeah, this year was just so many CG trailers. You play a little girl in that who has like a helmet on. She's going to go fight all the... It looks like she's going to go fight all the Greek god monsters.
She's the one the gods call on when they need a hand.
Yeah. I'm just double checking. I don't think there was anything else of any
Play
particular...
Plus announcement from that.
Oh yeah, you can pay a subscription fee to get all the that stuff. Most of Ubisoft's conference was fucking Tom Clancy shit.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Tom Clancy's The Division 2. Tom Clancy's whatever it is, Quarantine. Tom Clancy's... the mobile game that was all the Tom Clancy characters. It was a lot of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Their whole conference was shooty bang bang Tom Clancy.
Yeah, I was falling asleep. I
Yeah.
must be honest.
I'm just double checking there was nothing else in that one. I don't think so. Yeah, what one should we go on to from there?
Xbox?
Yeah, Xbox had a lot of stuff. I can't say how much of it I cared about.
Outer Worlds looks interesting.
Next-gen consoles are coming next winter.
Yeah.
8K, 120 frames a second,
I'll
ray
believe
tracing.
120 second,
120 frames
a second when I see it.
Here's the thing: if they're aiming for 120 frames a second, that means we might get 60
Stable
frames.
60.
Stable 60 as a standard, and that I'll be happy with. Aim for 120 so we can fucking get 60 most of the time.
If we get 8K in scare quotes, we might actually get what we might actually get is stable, genuine 4K as opposed to what is it, interlaced version?
So the PS4 does like weird checkerboxed interlaced 4K. The Xbox One X, I believe, actually does 4K. But yeah, that sounds like it's going to be a very expensive box. At the very least, they did say backwards compatibility for all the previous Xboxes, which is nice. That's the thing. It's going to launch with a Halo.
I'm very hyped for that.
Yeah, what else was there in that conference?
Bleeding Edge. I will die for Buttercup.
Oh my god, Buttercup, the pink-haired
motorcycle,
chainsaw motorcycle lady. Yeah, no, she is the standout character. I did not see that game coming from the Hellblade people. That their last game was like one person alone battling psychosis.
Oh well. See, they have some variety up there.
Battletoads got a trailer.
I never played the original. So.
I like the art style. It looked like a nice co-op side-scrolling beat 'em up.
And the 3D sections looked like classic 3D sections.
I think we will probably end up playing that and having a good time with it. I imagine.
Maybe.
I could see us having a fun afternoon playing some co-op.
New Ori.
Oh yeah, Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
It was so cute.
So cute. Microsoft has bought Double Fine. Not a good thing that more of the industry is being bought under by a single company and we're, having exclusivity. But Double Fine has been struggling financially for so long. I'm glad that they.
I wasn't aware of this, but I'm not a huge fan of that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, the last 5 to 10 years they've been crowdfunding every game they put out and not making enough money back to avoid crowdfunding the next one. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that they have some stability and hopefully will just make the game rather than stretching themselves way too thin trying to fulfill stretch goals.
And we got to see some Psychonauts 2, which is still looking great.
Yep.
And pleasantly surreal.
Hopefully now that they have Microsoft funding, we might see a Brutal Legend 2 someday.
Maybe. We saw Minecraft Dungeons.
Yeah.
Which looks really interesting.
It's a sort of Diablo-esque game in the Minecraft world. You can play it in co-op. That's coming to other stuff as well, like it's coming to Switch. Mm-hmm. Tales of Arise. It's a new Tales of game. It looked pretty beautiful. Yeah. It was quite weird when that man pulled a sword out of the woman's cleavage.
Scattering the power of Arise. Spiritfarer. Looks adorable and I want to hug a dear friend.
The art style looks a lot like Battle Chef Brigade, which I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. It seems to be about making a house for a bunch of ghost spirit animals, and then eventually they move on to the other side.
We saw Keanu Reeves, but I don't care about the game related to that. But Keanu was nice to see.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077, that trailer made me want that game to be in third person, and I still have a bunch of reservations about that game because of the behaviours of the people who made it. But Keanu Reeves is nice.
Yeah, screw said Project Red. But, And somebody else pointed out on Twitter, of all the things to do with Cyberpunk, they pick a generic white guy with mods to be the cover-up for that game.
Well, yeah. Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm really into my flight sims. I'm very excited for a shiny 4K flight sim.
Legend of Right. Looks like a really interesting art style for an RPG game. Pen and paper aesthetic.
Yeah. We got a trailer for Elden Ring, which is the From Software, the Dark Souls people, their game with George R.R. Martin.
One for you, perhaps.
There's a CGI trailer that showed us nothing, but apparently it's going to be more like Dark Souls than it was than Sekiro, which is a positive thing to me, and it's going to be a little less bleak and a bit more hopeful.
Supermarket Shriek.
Oh yeah, that game continues to be amazing.
I'm looking forward to
I
playing
want
that
us
together.
to scream into microphones together. It's going to be great. I'm on good terms with the developer. I will make sure we get a copy of that so that we can scream together.
Age of Empires 2 is coming out again.
Yeah.
For some reason.
When's Age of Empires 4, please? Blair Witch got a CGI trailer.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about? We were sitting there during the trailer and I'm going, Black Hills. I know Black Hills from something.
We were there is it Silent Hills? Is it going to be like an Outlast game or something?
Yeah, there was a very Outlast vibe to it, but then I suppose it's found footage, so that makes sense. Yeah. And then it sort of panned out, and it was like, oh, it's Blair Witch. And you were like, what? I was like, that's the Blair Witch symbol.
I think that's all I got out of the Microsoft one.
Skywalker Saga. I am very hyped for HD original trilogy and
all of
the middle trilogy.
all of the Star Wars films in one Lego game.
Yeah,
sure, why not?
Yeah, and the quality of those looks really, really good.
It looked nice. Yeah. What other conferences were there?
What else? 12 Minutes looks fascinating.
Oh god, 12 Minutes looks great. It's a game where you're stuck in a 12-minute long time loop. Your wife might have murdered her dad. There's a person pretending to be a police officer who's really not and is banging the door down. And it's a limited amount of space. What can you do with 12 minutes to escape this time loop?
Narrative, and I guess without freaking out people that you know the future.
Yeah, because the first loop we saw in the trailer was he was trying to be like, look, I know what's going to happen. It's because I know the future. We're in a time loop. Please listen to me. And she just like freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm
very curious to know where they go with that.
Yeah, I love a good time loop narrative.
Way to the Woods.
Oh, Way to the Woods, yeah.
I saw something about this today, actually. Someone was talking about how the original art first showed up on, I think it was Reddit.
Yeah.
And the creator was like 16 years old and like, hey, I made this, I did this thing, do you want to see my name?
The music is made by the Steven Universe music people. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm very hyped for that.
Was there anything else in that conference?
Forza, not my thing. Lego, oh my god, oh Lego! Ah!
I would buy a Lego Forza game. Just give me a Lego Forza game.
I won't play it, I just like all the Lego.
I would play a Lego driving game.
State of Decay, new thing, Crossfire X, Alright. Phantasy Star Online 2.
I'm very happy for people that exists. I can't let myself play MMOs, but like...
I played the original one, I loved it. But you can play the original in single player.
Yeah.
That I was very hyped for. What I was unhyped for was the fact that they said, oh, free to play. Oh, shit, no.
Yeah. Well, people have been asking for that for like 7 years to get localised, so I'm glad it's happening for those people.
I'm very hyped. I think I originally played it on like the GameCube or something.
Yeah. What else was there?
Bethesda.
40 minutes of them dancing around like, oh, we take your feedback very seriously, even when it's it's challenging.
We're gonna almost apologise for a bunch of stuff.
Fallout 76, it's getting a battle royale mode, and they're putting some actual Fallout in it.
Yeah.
They're putting NPCs that have a story and you can have conversations with, and a quest.
I think they've upset a lot of their core audience.
Yeah, it's a little too late to go, oh, we added some Fallout to our Fallout game.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the deep discounts that were going in the first week or so, I don't think...
Oh, anyone who bought that day one got burned.
Badly burned.
Yeah. The vaguely interesting things in there is Miyazaki. I think it was Miyazaki's new game. Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yes.
It was a CGI trailer. It didn't tell us anything. It makes
pleasantly spooky.
Yeah, it was spooky. People were vanishing. Their clothes were left behind. That was the person that made The Evil Within, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was that person. So, I'll play a new thing from you.
New Commander Keen.
It's a phone game.
What a thing to resurrect.
Yeah. Well, the thing is the people who would remember that brand aren't going to want this weird phone game.
I don't want that weird phone game.
The people who they could sell that phone game to won't care about the brand. So I don't know who that game's for.
The only thing I am looking forward to, fingers crossed, is that we will get to see a secret level in Doom Eternal, which we'll mention in a minute.
Yeah.
Where there is the new Commander's Keen, because there's two of them.
Yes.
Just sort of hanging in a room somewhere. And you have to shoot them to make the secret exit open.
I was excited for Deathloop, which is the other time loop game that... The
art style for that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they kept throwing in weird 70s orange stuff with white lines.
Yeah, so the idea is people are trapped in a time loop, and there's one person who's like, if I kill you, the time loop will end, and that's what I want. And the other one's like, if I kill you, the time loop will keep going, and that's great. And they both think that killing the other one will either stop or keep the time loop going in the way they want. It seems really interesting. I want that game. I'm curious which side you play as, or if you get to play as both.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Elder Scrolls Legends. Live action trailer, be distracted, be distracted. The audience went fucking wild. And then there's everyone else in the audience going, what?
Wolfenstein Youngblood.
2 Wolfensteins.
Yeah, there's a VR game where you're in a mech in Paris shooting Nazis. And there's Youngblood where you're 2 sort of goth girls in Paris shooting Nazis.
I absolutely loved the Wolfenstein announcements because the guy came on stage and was like, killing Nazis, killing Nazis, killing Nazis, killing Nazis. So, what about some killing Nazis? And the audience was loving it.
Here's the thing. I think like he may have gone like a little too hard on that. I think part of it was, we did some marketing about killing Nazis last year and that went well. So let's just say killing Nazis again and again and again and again.
But that was the first time that what sounded like genuine cheers
I will
as
give
opposed
you that.
to paid for cheers.
Okay,
like, we get to kill Nazis.
Can I just say,
yes.
those other cheers weren't paid for. You know all those like shots where they were interviewing overly excited fans? Those people were the people in the front rows.
Right.
So there's one of those I do want to make a point about. I'm a bit grumbly at Bethesda about one of them.
Right.
I'm glad that this woman has this story, but one of them was I was suicidal and I'm not now. The only dark places I'm allowed to go now are dungeons in the Elder Scrolls Online. Did you miss that one?
No.
That one felt. Yeah, it was such a weird one. I'm like, I'm glad, lady, that you found a thing that helped you, but like,
it's good.
I watched that clip and could just feel the Bethesda executive going, "Oh my god, this is fucking marketing gold. We're gonna fucking our games are gonna look so good because this woman didn't kill herself." And I'm like, oh well, fucking no.
Just faffing themselves into oblivion.
That's where
such good metrics.
But that's where those screams were coming from. Is those people?
Right. Okay. Doom Eternal.
Yeah, it looks like more Doom 2016.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm really happy about? Bethesda have been really good about the games that they're doing that are getting Switch ports and now getting them the same day as the other consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Wolfenstein Youngblood is coming the same day as it is on the other consoles. Bethesda's really got behind the Switch nicely.
Mm.
They've worked hard on good ports. What else? What other conferences?
Did we do PC?
We did PC, I think.
We didn't mention Skatebird.
Oh, Skatebird, I think, was in the Kind of Funny showcase.
Yeah. The weird thing is, I haven't watched the Kind of Funny. I've watched your thing of the Kind of Funny, which is where I spotted this again.
Yes.
This showed up on my Twitter the other day, and I was like, oh, there's a Kickstarter for this really cute skateboarding with birds game.
You play tiny little Tweety birds on like little tech deck finger skateboards skating around a house.
And I like the way they do little flaps to give themselves a little bit more time to land. Because that's always the bit that fucks me up in skateboarding games. Like, I'm not quite ready to land.
Yeah. Square Enix, we got footage of the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm kind of excited about it. I like the look of the real time.
It looks beautiful.
Menu-based combat system.
It looks beautiful. I'm glad it's 2 games and not 3. What concerns me is...
Yeah.
They're taking what is 5 or 6 hours of gameplay from the original game and going, this is going to be a full RPG. So 2 questions arise from that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, as I know that you're keen on the Midgar thing. I like the Midgar thing. I like the aesthetic of Midgar. I like the whole thing of that. The question is, if that's technically half of a game, but in its own right a full game, like, what comes next? Do you just like load up your characters from the end of that? Are they capped at level something?
I don't know. I think that those are all very valid questions to ask. I'm not panicking until I see that those things have gone wrong. At the moment, I'm just in the mode of, this game looks very nice and that combat system looks nice, and I'm totally happy for them to super expand Midgar into a more like complete thing. Everything I have seen, I am enjoying, and I'm not gonna let myself panic about the things that we haven't seen go wrong yet. I agree with you that there are lots of ways they could go wrong, but I will wait until we have seen something that we're not happy with before I panic about it.
I'm not unhappy with things. And I'm not really panicking about it. I'm just not keen on, I don't understand how that's going to work.
That's fair. I'm willing to wait and let them show me how it's going to work before I respond.
Okay. And I'm also concerned about fucking DLC materia.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressive that is if it's just those 3 in that collector's edition or whatever. Final Fantasy VIII is finally getting ported to new systems.
Yeah.
You know, no.
I don't. I feel like it's as you mentioned in your footage that it's just like the upscaled version that we saw on PS3. I want better character models. I want like.
Have you gone back and compared side to side how this looks compared to the original game? These are clearly new character models.
I need to see more of it, definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm not totally sold yet. Depends how much it is.
Here's the thing for me. This game for the last couple of console generations has just not got re-released, which because the original they lost the source code and there's some licensing of music issues.
Ugh.
I'm just super glad that for archival sake that game is available in more places. Even if it's just the original game put out on new consoles, I am glad that I would like to have on my Switch Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 to 12, is it? Or whichever one wasn't the MMO.
11 was the MMO, and 14, and 13 and 14.
Yeah, so 12. But if I could have Final Fantasy 7 through 12, excluding 11, in one thing, where if I want to play one of those games, I have them all. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, if the price is good, I'm definitely up for getting Final Fantasy 8 again, because it is my favourite Final Fantasy, despite having the middle name Aerith.
What else was there in that one? I don't think there was much else. We saw Avengers gameplay. I was excited right up until the second that they told us live service. Oh, we have plans for content for this for the next number of years. And I'm like, oh no, I suddenly don't care.
Yeah.
Nintendo. Should we talk about Nintendo's conference?
Always.
2 new Smash Brothers characters, the hero from Dragon Quest and Banjo-Kazooie. The Banjo-Kazooie
I love that they're
bit.
raring to go.
That trailer looked so nice. They kept so many iconic things of how the original game treated, how you got around and did things in that game. It seems like a very faithful adaptation. Thank you, Microsoft, for being on good terms with Nintendo. We got this. We got a port of Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
Put that alongside Cuphead and Hellblade getting ports. I'm glad that Microsoft and Nintendo were on good speaking terms.
Is Super Lucky's Tale good? I've never played it.
I thought it was an enjoyable platformer. It's probably one of the best 3D platformers on the Xbox One.
Okay.
I will totally replay that on Switch. What else did we get? Breath of the Wild sequel trailer. Oh, heck. It certainly looks like it's going to be in the same overworld as Breath of the Wild, which means, hey, they're saving a bunch of resources on not having to make the open world again. Please drop a bunch of extra shit in that open world, like dungeons.
Yeah.
Give us some traditional dungeons,
even if it's
maybe.
not as many mini dungeons as we've had before, if it's maybe 8 solid dungeons in the classic style.
Please. The main thing I would like is give us some dungeons to repopulate that world, and give us a story where the story is happening in real time. We're not getting flashbacks about the story.
And let us have a female lead character.
Yeah, there is a lot of speculation from this trailer that at the very least we might be able to pick a protagonist, or that Zelda might be playable. She's cut her hair short, ready for adventure.
Yeah.
She's up front with the torch, going through this weird catacomb. There are bits of the footage that make it look like Link has been captured or fallen down a thing, and I'm ready for it. Because that's the thing, is if you let us play it as Princess Zelda, that's a great excuse for you. Have none of your weapons, none of your...
Linkle.
Oh, Linkle would be good. It's not going to be Linkle. If it's anyone, it's going to be Zelda, but that would be a great excuse to reset you back to starting point 0, and to go, hey, here's that world you were in before, but you have a completely different tool set. It's going to feel like a new adventure. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I'm very hyped.
And
I realised that was the last thing announced, but I was like, yes!
Yeah, when they did the Banjo-Kazooie reveal and people lost their shit and they were like, actually, we have one more thing. I was like, wait.
Where do you escalate from there?
I was like, Banjo-Kazooie for Smash is not your closer? What the fuck are you going to show us?
I don't think it helped that, you were saying, the day before, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Banjo for Smash. I was like, okay.
Here's the thing, There'd been a lot of talk about it. I'd resigned myself to assuming it wasn't going to happen. When we opened with the Dragon Quest character, I was like, oh, that's our Smash character for the E3 Direct. I did. They got me. They got me. Saving Banjo for the end.
Oh, the Builders 2. Speaking of Dragon Quest,
Yes.
Builders 2. The date for Switch seems to have vanished.
It vanished during Square Enix's conference. It did show up during Nintendo's.
Okay.
It is the same date as the PS4 version. It's July 12th. God, that's a month away. Oh, we're gonna play that. We're gonna play that in co-op together. That's gonna be so good.
Assuming I can afford it this year.
That's fine. If I can, I'll try and sort you a copy. If not, but I will get up with you before work and we'll just play it before work together. We'll play some co-op. It'll be lovely.
I'll help you fix the castle.
Animal Crossing got delayed, but it did get a trailer. Looks a lot like Animal Crossing.
This is the first Animal Crossing in a while. I've looked at it and gone, actually, maybe.
Yeah, never. We got a trailer for No More Heroes 3.
Yeah.
I like No More Heroes 1 and 2. I hated the Switch top-down thingy-bob indie one. I'm glad this looks like it's going back to being a proper mainline numbered No More Heroes. Astral Chain is that Platinum Games thing with the people, the cop-looking people who are like laser-chained to creatures that they fight with. I'm really excited for that. I like Platinum stuff. Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yay! I haven't played one since the original, and I finished that in like a day.
Yeah, I'm ready for a longer Luigi's Mansion. I want more Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
You can play as Gooigi, play it in co-op.
I got your Gooigi right here.
There's co-op where you have to try and clear floors in a mansion. It looks like a fun Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, and what? So was it a 4 or 8 player? This seems like a lot of people.
I think it was 4 player.
It was 4 with the 4 Gooigis.
Yes. Luigi, we did Luigi's Mansion. The Witcher 3 is getting a port to Switch. That looked like a surprisingly competent port, considering how technically demanding that game is.
We got to see some more Link's Awakening.
Oh, yeah.
And the custom dungeons.
Yes, I hope that we can share those with other people.
I hope so too. And I hear the colour dungeon from DX is going to be in there.
Oh, that's nice. The listing on Nintendo's website says that game supports 1 to 4 players, which I assume means that you can share those things with other people, those dungeons. Trials of Mana, the third Secret of Mana series game that never got localized.
Is that the third?
Yeah, because it was, it's...
Secret of Mana isn't the first one.
No. It's Final Fantasy Adventures is the first one, then it's Secret of Mana.
And Chrono Trigger.
Okay, Chrono Trigger is like, it's connected, but it's not an Mana game, apparently. Apparently they don't view it as, like, in that same chronology. But, the sequel to Secret of Mana that never got localized.
Yeah.
It's now called Trials of Mana. You can get it in a collection of like the old versions and like the localized old one, or in early next year there's a really nice 3D remake that's happening.
Yeah, I've played. What is it? Something 3.
The Suika Dentetsu 3.
That's it. I started playing it.
Did you play like a fan translation? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It
looks really good.
Yeah, it's a nice looking.
I lost
SNES
track
game.
of it some way through, but yeah.
I'm totally on board with that 3D remake that's happening early next year. It looked gorgeous. Yeah. Was there anything else from Nintendo? I think that was the bulk of it.
No, 2 more Zeldas. That's a good start for me.
Yeah, 2 more Zeldas is all I really need. That's basically everything I watched this week. Pokemon Sword and Shield won't support the whole Pokedex of every single Pokemon, so maybe my whole shiny Pokedex might not be able to go over to Sword and Shield.
And you can only vaguely use your Pokemon Go Plus.
Yeah. We'll see.
Pokeball, sorry.
Yeah, the game still looks fantastic. I'm glad that it's got a mix of overworld and random battles. That looks cool. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna fucking love it, I'm sure. Did you watch anything that wasn't E3?
No.
Devolver press conference.
Oh yeah, don't forget them. Carrion looks interesting.
Yeah, you play a massive writhing tentacles that's fighting its way out of a base while like fucking eating everyone.
Yes.
There is a Enter the Gungeon arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
There's knockoff remakes of a bunch of Devolver's games that
Devolver bootlegs.
Yeah, that's on Steam for like £3.
Yeah.
I started playing some of those a little bit. I've not played the whole way through them, but they are surprisingly fun remakes of existing games.
I do like a good remake.
Yeah, it's a nice knockoff demake collection.
Nice.
The narrative was... I thought that was an interesting turn to take, and it felt very sort of...
We're ripping off our own games.
It felt very modern with where the industry is right now in terms of their switch to the different format of Devolver presentation.
Yeah.
They're very aware of the shifting tide of the industry.
Yeah.
I think that's everything I watched.
What else was in there? More footage from my friend Pedro.
Oh yeah, that's coming out pretty soon.
That looks fun. That still looks fun.
Yeah.
I can't remember if there are any other games from Devolver, but yeah, they. Picnic in Paradise.
I don't remember what that is.
It's the expansion pack for the.
Oh yes, for the Messenger.
Yes.
The Messenger that looks fun as well. They had some neat looking stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's everything I've watched.
I think that's enough E3 now.
Yeah. Have you got anything not E3 that you watched?
No.
Okay, it's time for this.
Been no time for anything.
It's time for this. We need a rest.
Laura, you've got a new sponsor.
Who's our new sponsor?
This week's sponsor is well. You know how you might be excited for a thing,
Yeah.
and you want to know all about the thing that's coming, and like you're ready for it, you're hyped for it, and you just want to know, like, what am I going to experience when I get the thing?
Yeah.
How would you completely mask that and deflect people?
Are we sponsored by CGI trailers that don't actually tell us anything but do make us feel excited and like we got an update?
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Right?
Fantastic.
I know.
Yeah, they're amazing. They had a real good they sold a lot of those at E3.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was buying them.
Yeah, I mean, and as it is still like the tail end of E3 week, and obviously now is the time of year when they're, business is slowing down a little bit. They've had all the E3, but you, the person at home,
they're selling them to us, the consumer.
Exactly. How about this? Like, think about it. You're perhaps you're on Tinder or something like that. Other dating apps are available. But why experience an actual date with you when someone can watch a CGI trailer of what it would be like perhaps to go on a date, and perhaps there'll be like whooshy scenes of a restaurant and like nice photorealistic scenes of tables.
There's no actual footage of you, or there's no ability to get a sense for what your dialogue is like.
Exactly.
It's just
the gameplay mechanics.
It's a tone piece.
Exactly. It just sort of sets the tone, gets you hyped for what a date might be.
If I want to get a personal CGI trailer that doesn't tell anyone anything but does make the viewer look quite cool. Where can I get one?
Head on over to siliconshinynights.lol.net and click on the big microphone after the big CGI trailer for the website has played. and click on the microphone, and then when the CGI trailer for the microphone text box has finished playing, it's about 15 minutes long, but it's definitely worth it. You do get a real experience for what you're going to get once you get that text box, and it's very shiny, lots of nice lighting effects. Like, I'd never seen a photorealistic text box quite as good. And if you get in there, you type in the thing, you enter the code QNPS71, you too can get 15% off your first 30-second or longer CGI trailer for anything you want.
I'm gonna get a CGI trailer for going to the post office. Make that feel like an exciting adventure.
Nice. Inside the boardroom of Electronic Actor Softworks.
Hi. We're really busy.
Oh, I know. The trade show going on has been an absolute nightmare trying to keep on top of
it. Is the one week a year when I actually have to do some work that isn't flogging someone.
Goodness.
And I am appalled.
So I don't know if you had the chance to catch our press conference. We did, but I hope you don't mind. I took the liberty of doing something without running it past the board. I think I had a good idea.
Yeah.
So, you know how we've been getting a lot of flack recently for...
there was the Twitter debacle.
Yeah, where we keep saying things that are offensive, and we keep, overworking our staff to hell.
Yeah, there's a lot of crunch been going on.
Yeah.
Some literally crunched.
I think I might have managed to distract the gamers from that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I did?
I mean, it's got to be something big, right?
So I spent some of our budget. I did have to fly someone out. It did cost a little bit of money, but I think the amount of goodwill we got out of it justifies spending some of our money.
Right.
You know how everyone loves that actor, that one that looks like he never ages and that everyone just loves because he's a real sweetheart.
The Ant-Man guy?
No, the one that was in that movie about the virtual world.
The Lawnmower Man?
No. That one. There was a bunch of clones of the same man. The dot matrix printer thing.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So we got that actor everyone likes. We stuck him up on stage. We put a model of him in the game and then made him walk out on stage. He told someone that they were fabulous.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure we distracted them.
Did we pay him for that? Or did he...
we flew him out.
I guess. So, I mean, that's the least you could do, right?
Yeah.
So you found a nice person that was willing to work with us?
Yeah. Well, see, he's not really in the video game industry, so we just, banked on the fact he wouldn't know about the shitty behavior and said, hey, we'll put you in a video game. It's got all sorts of techno bullshit. You were in a film with techno bullshit. You'll like that.
Wow, we are really dragging down that guy's reputation.
Oh, I know, but he's really dragging ours up somehow.
I mean, goodwill of good people. I mean, I don't get those kind of things, so but I think you did the right thing there.
I hope you don't mind that I spent some of the budget. But,
no, you're a fucking genius. You want some of that, mate?
Oh, that's that good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you know?
No.
You know the London Underground, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that was all dug out by huge rats?
I did not know that it was done by huge rats. Why did huge rats? Why did they do that?
Yeah, well, what it is, they dug it out as like a maze. As a maze for like tourists and business people. So they could just examine how those people walk around the maze. It's like an experiment on time and motion and how people cope. They're watching us.
Oh, are they studying things like how well we can remember how to get to the rewards that are hidden in various places around the city?
Exactly. And if you go down the wrong tunnel, you might not be rewarded. No. And then, they're seeing if those people will learn from having had the experience previously. And that you get the route more effectively and quickly without having to stop and think if you do it lots of times. Exactly. And also working out how dependent they become on it. Will people eventually not know how things connect above in the surface, or are they always coming down underground to go back through the tunnels that they've been through before because it's more familiar, and the rats are watching that.
And if we close off part of the maze, will they be able to work out how to get out?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a proper science experiment.
Yeah, and we thought perhaps we were watching the rats. The rats, they're watching us. Yeah.
So, what's in your ears?
My ears? There are two main things. We went and had one of them nights where we experienced some live music at the weekend. Should we talk about Sam Battalion first?
Yeah, we've talked about them before, but they're kick-ass.
Yeah, we got to see more of their set this time, because last time we saw Sam Battalion, we walked in 5 minutes before they finished.
Yeah.
They play a bunch of...
There's about 20 or maybe a few more of them, and they all have various types of drums and cowbells and
They play entirely with percussion and nothing else, and they have a man that conducts them while being very sort of flamboyant and extra with his whistle.
Waving his arms about.
They're a fantastic thing. If you've ever... there are very few feelings like being in a small room with 20 drums and nothing else for an hour and not noticing the time go past.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, like any sort of hardcore drumming and samba, like it has it really goes right through you.
It's one of those things where you can just sort of feel yourself going along with it.
I've got to move.
I had like a little a pen and just like a fairly full water bottle. I was just like fucking drumming along.
Drumming
Like, yep,
away.
I'm having a great time.
It was beautiful.
Feeling it reverb through my hand. It was great.
Yeah, well, let me see. I've got the thing of who we saw that night.
I know another one we saw during the night. Big Red Ass.
Big Red Ass?
Yeah, it's that ska band that we saw. So how do I put this? Big Red Ass are a ska band that definitely don't take themselves very seriously.
And know their audience.
Okay, most of their songs are very, 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 very lyrically simple.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know that their typical audience is people who enjoy ska, but are also very, very, very inebriated and can't deal with more than a few words.
Mm-hmm.
So there's such songs as Hat, where they make you sort of put on and take off an imaginary hat while going hat, 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 hat. Everybody doth your hat.
Oyster Card?
Yeah, there's Oyster Card. There is
Hooray!
Oh, hooray!
Hooray was wonderful.
There's paper, where every now and then they'll just hold out a piece of paper and you have to shout the thing that's on the paper. It's like, the paper! The paper! The paper! The paper!
Yeah, it was very silly.
It was incredibly silly. It's one of those things where, like, you would see people, like, skanking along up the front having a great time, and then you just watch the ripple go across faces as people realised what they were singing and going... Hang on a minute, have I been dancing to a song where the only words are Oyster Card?
Yes.
And it's like, yes, we recognise the absurdity of what we're doing. It's fine. And I had a blast. I would fucking love to see them play again.
Yeah,
They are not a band to... They are a band to go and see when you're a little bit fucked up.
Definitely. They are clearly play to
A specific audience.
a specific audience of people who are a little bit messy.
Yeah, a little bit out of it.
Well, there was a lovely set from Mr. Tumnus and Tenacious T.
Oh, they put on a great
They
set.
did put a really nice set together, sort of some old school classics.
I love that they had a huge fucking paper dragon in the room
that breathes smoke.
There's a bubble machine. I do love a good
And the
bubble
bubble
machine.
machine. I joined the kazoo orchestra.
I missed the kazoo orchestra. I'm very sad I missed the kazoo orchestra.
Who else did we see? Oh, we started the evening with Mr. Sandman, who did like just some really sweet, some of it as far back as like 20s music.
Yeah,
Just like some nice, like a little bit of like swing into some sort of like 50s jukebox classics.
very lyrically very lyrically simple stuff, but in a very different way to Big Red Ass.
Yes.
It was just very wholesome lyrically.
Very wholesome
old
sort of
tracks.
classic American
Yeah.
music. It was fun.
It was sweet. It was a nice, gentle way to start the night.
Yeah.
But yeah. Have you listened to anything else this week?
I've listened to Left at London on that Bandcamp.
Oh heck! Go check out Tonal Whiplash, the first episode of which I interview Left at London.
That's what made me check out Left at London.
But yeah, tell me about Left at London's music.
It's good music. I very much enjoyed it. Hang on, I will find. So I listened to 2 albums. I listened to, I guess, Purple Heart.
Yeah.
And
It's a purple heart
it's
emoji.
Emoji. And Transgender Street Legend Volume 1, which is the one I've actually heard about, because
Yeah.
she mentions it on her Twitter a lot. Revolution Lover is the sort of opening track on that, and it's like, it's quite upbeat and good in that.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that. It's one I need to listen to again. I've only listened to each of these once, so I haven't really had a proper chance to get right
She
into
made
it.
good music.
She did make good music, and Waiting on a Ghost I really liked as well.
Yeah.
I want to listen to I Don't Trust You Anymore again,
Yeah.
because I feel like that needs a bit more time with it.
Yeah, Left at London's really interesting in that, like, most people know her from, and where she got a lot of her starting following was from being in some silly, stupid vines back in the day. Like, if you've ever seen the vine that was,
I do that.
I do that. But she's very much managed to leverage that into a much more, like, creative, serious career. Like, she's done some very widespread comedy stuff around music. Like, she does a lot of videos that are like, here is how to make a insert artist song, and will sort of parody like the sound that all of their tracks of that artist seem to have. But she also makes like legitimately good music herself, and it's very interesting watching someone go from "you know me from 6 seconds of out of context" thing into like, no, I'm gonna make this a thing. I'm gonna do some serious work.
And it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got any others?
That's everything I've listened to.
Well then, time for this. Story time. It's time for story.
What's the story?
We're gonna make it up.
Oh, tell me some story prompts.
I will tell you some story prompt from Fancy Wookie
Okay.
on Twitter. We have a Nokia 3310 with 28 pence of credit.
Oh, that's a card from that
Bucket
card
of
game,
Doom.
isn't it? Okay. I feel like this is a prop we can use in a later story.
Okay,
Maybe let's
okay.
continue and come back to that.
A sentient cardboard box that just wants to chat to people from Callum Turner.
Well, I suppose that the sentient cardboard box could use the phone with the 28p.
Maybe
Call
the
someone.
sentient cardboard box is asking people for money so they can get slightly more credit.
Yeah, 28p
I only got
doesn't.
28p on my Nokia 3310.
Yeah, let me at least get a $5 top up, then I can get like a goodie bag or
Can
something
you
with
help
some
me?
minutes.
I just want to chat to my family. My child has just been born. A brand new baby box made from recycled material.
All I've got is 28p. That's not going to get me long enough to, actually get through the phone line to get to my wife who's had the kids.
I can't connect. I need to.
It's a 30p. It's a 30p connection charge.
Come on. Could you just help us out? Just a
of
quick credit. If you do it directly over the phone with your card, you don't have to put like a full fiver on there or nothing. and I have to move up north for plot reasons. But I don't understand the language barrier, so no one will give me this extra 2p that I need to make a call. Excuse me.
I don't need now. being from up north.
I'm not doing it. I
No.
think Becky will actually.
Becky gave that particular prompt.
Becky
yes.
gave that prompt. I think she will actually hurt me if I try and do it. Even a vaguely attempted half-assed northern accent.
That's fine. I'll do what you're too cowardly to do. To lion, to witch, and to
Oh
wolf.
God! You didn't just do it. You did the Michael McIntyre.
I did the fucking
Ah!
I did the worst possible version.
That is worst possible thing.
I did worst possible.
She's
thing.
gonna pout. She's gonna. She's gonna
I
pout.
know she's gonna pout. I'm sorry that I did the mockery of the northern. I was gonna say the northern language.
Northern language. Northern language.
Northern language.
Northern language. Happens so. Tricky suggests a broadsword. A sword for broads. Or made of broads. I don't know. So then somebody is taking their giant forge, and they're planning to knock the Norfolk Broads into a sword.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that way. I was thinking that, like, you've got a lesbian sword wielder using a magic sword to find their true love. It's the broadsword. The broad is using it to find a broad.
Oh, I've never understood how that actually works.
I don't know how, but
I've seen it in like 1920s films.
Broad is definitely like has in history
Slang
been
for
used
woman.
as slang for woman. So the
I don't-
broadsword, it's a story about a woman, a lesbian using a sword to find her true love.
Where does it come from, though?
I don't know. Do you want me to look up the etymology of broad?
Maybe after the show.
I'm doing it now. I'm curious.
Oh no! It's time for everyone's favourite E3 showcase, the Queer and Pleasant Strangers Conference. What new gaming innovations will they reveal?
We're doing away with loot boxes for the whole industry, not
Yep.
just for our games.
Yep.
We're banning loot boxes.
There'll be no more podcast loot boxes.
Every game has diverse protagonists.
Yep.
No more games with only straight white men as protagonists.
Yep. And none of them on the box are either.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm going to have it forever. Ostergal suggests all we need is Keanu. And frankly, I think that's correct.
Yeah.
So I think somebody sort of turns to Keanu and goes, "Hey, Keanu, like you seem really lovely and genuine and nice. Do you know about all the stuff with CD Projekt Red? Maybe." And he's like, "No, I'm not doing it anymore. Get me out of your game. You got me in on the contract that said I'm only going to remain in the game as long as you're not evil. But you were evil and transphobic and bad. And I am Keanu Reeves, the most purest human being since Mr. Rogers."
I found out about the etymology of broad as slang for woman. It started around 1911, so good 100 years ago. Perhaps suggestive of broad hips, but it might also trace to American English a broadwife, word for a woman, often a slave, away from her husband.
Wow.
Oh, that took a turn. Broad hips, I was like, okay, I can almost maybe see where you're going there. It suggested immorality or coarse low-class women. It had negative connotations. Yeah, apparently the long jump used to be called the broad jump, but got changed to the long jump because of its negative connotations. Well, that's a history I did not know.
Let's not use that one in future.
Maybe I will not make the lesbian film called The Broadsword.
Yeah. So they're taking the Norfolk Broads, and they're going to hammer them down to make a sword to find the giant's lesbian wife. I'm making it about giants now. There's a giant hammering the entire Norfolk Broads down
into just one sword.
Into just one precious sword. There's got to be some precious metals there.
Yeah,
I would imagine. I mean, I've never thought about the mineral makeup of the Norfolk Broads.
I'm going to assume that there are metal ores in there.
Yeah, iron ore, gold ore,
iron or gold,
iron ore, gold ore. I was making an ore joke.
Yeah,
that's fine. Let me have another look. See if we've got any others. And Devin has suggested inside a dragon's stomach. And Samuel West has suggested turnips. That just for clarity, that is all caps turnips, 3 exclamation marks. Just so you're aware of just the level of turnip.
Dragon ate too many turnips.
Dragon ate too many turnip, and somebody has to go into the dragon tum-tum. So, look, there's too many turnip, dragon friend.
The dragon tries to breathe fire, and instead it just breathes vegetable vapour.
Is that not just vomiting at that point?
It does like a vegetable burp. Yeah, well, there's like very sort of like, you had too many.
Turn-up, if you will.
Yeah, you had too much like spinach, now you're just doing spinach burps, but for turnips.
And previously the villagers had thought that perhaps the dragon sat atop a hoard of turnips. I think a hoard is enough to all caps triple exclamation.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. So they'd been like, we will placate the dragon with yet more turnips there you go, dragon. Oh, thank you very much. My dinner seems to be swelling.
Oh.
And then the dragon was like, well, I mean, it's a very large portion, but they were very kind, and I do hate to see food go to waste, so I'm just going to eat all of these turnips. I'll just cook them first. There we go. Crunchy. Oh, I think a bit of mayo on that one. Sriracha. Good terms. I ate too many turnips. Call the doctor! Hello. I'm a dragon doctor. I'm a dragon doctor. What seems to be the problem? I ate too many turnips. I did a little turnipy burp earlier. I thought it was just going to be vape, but some of it was a little bit chunky at the back of the throat, and I've got a very long throat. So it had a long way to go. Now I'm just thinking about the dynamics of a dragon being ill.
Oh.
It's got a long way. And indeed, like a giraffe.
Yeah.
For a giraffe to throw up, that's got to be really committed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the doctor gives the dragon some antacid to just sort of settle things down a bit. and then teleports some of the turnips out. And just like, look, you don't need at least 30% of these turnip. This is too many turnip. I know, I'm sorry. My eyes are bigger than my belly. And possibly multiple stomachs. I don't know if dragons follow cow.
I don't know. I feel like you could make this work as a children's story about don't eat too much of a food, even if it's your favourite food. You can make a little picture book.
The dragon ate too many turnips.
Yeah, the dragon that ate too many turnips. That's an adorable picture book right there.
Yeah, and then the doctor who had to just crawl into the dragon's tum-tum and get some of the turnips out.
Yeah. Is that us done?
I think that's all of the stories. So thank you very much to Samuel Weston and Devin and Becky Toohill and Tricky, and I've got to remember all of these names now. Hang on. And Fancy Wookie and Callum Turner. And Arachnovol and Tricky and Ostergol. Thank you very much. So then, it's time for this. Do you know what I want to see more of?
What do you want to see more of?
Social Justice Warriors.
Alright, Larry.
Alright, Barry. How are you doing?
Not too bad, I got our names right this week.
Yeah.
First time, no less.
First time in a while.
Yeah. So, you've been watching that E3?
Yeah, I've been watching that E3. I was actually quite impressed by Microsoft conference of all things. Did you notice they had a American Sign Language interpreter down the front doing?
I did spot that. Yeah, it's nice that these events are getting more accessible for people.
Exactly, like it's all well and good having live captioning and whatnot and subtitles in trailers, but sometimes there'll be a moment like when Keanu Reeves came out and told someone in the crowd that they were wonderful, fantastic, or whatever it was he said, that you can't predict, that it won't show up on the teleprompter. It's nice that people
can be included in that.
Yeah, people in the audience can be included in that sort of off the cuff moment.
Exactly.
So, it got me thinking, in that way it does every week, about sign language as a thing. It really is, not an invasive thing to have sign language available for events. It really should be a more common thing, I reckon.
Yeah, I think in general, there should be more, learning of sign language. I think perhaps it should be something that's in school. And I know that I know there's kids shows and things where they teach a little bit of Makaton and things like that. But why don't we have more inclusive classes in mainstream schools where kids are learning, just some basic sign language, and then kids learn foreign languages in middle and high school. Why can't we have more sign language?
I feel like sign language, perhaps more so than learning foreign languages, is really important because it's going to be really useful to a lot of people in life anyway, because so many of us lose our hearing as we get older.
Yeah.
It would mean that as you start to lose your hearing, you wouldn't need to rely solely on hearing aids if a wider proportion of the society knew how to do sign language.
Yeah.
It's beneficial to people who are hard of hearing, who have disabilities, but it's also just really useful in general. If you're at a gig, it's a loud music event or something, and you can't hear what's being said, it's really useful to just be able to sign a couple of words back and forth.
Yeah, have a basic conversation rather than screaming at each other.
Yeah, and then on top of that, sign language, because it's not a spoken language, you can do it at the same time as speaking a spoken language. So say we speak English, we're in Britain, we could be speaking English while doing British Sign Language.
Yeah.
It's a thing where, as long as you learn it early, you could get into a habit of just continually signing while you talk.
Exactly.
It's a thing that, it could become second nature, just everyone happens to be doing two languages at once.
Yeah, and it makes it so much more inclusive, Yeah. I've known, deaf people at nightclubs. And you see them, and they very often end up quite isolated from the rest of it. And although perhaps they can experience, to some degree, the music, because it depends what level of deafness people have.
Yeah.
I myself am partially deaf.
Yeah.
But that I wouldn't. It's not the same. It's like when people talk about blindness.
Yeah.
A lot of, able-bodied people often assume that means you can see nothing at all, it's just blackness.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that you don't have, can't see sort of vague blobs of what things are.
Yeah, just not enough detail to be useful.
Exactly. So while you are medically blind in that case, the same can be said of deaf people. So, they can experience the music and especially from a very large music event like that. But then they're very, very isolated because for them it's even harder to manage a shouted conversation over the music.
Well, that's it. It seems like such a non-issue to just teach it to everyone from a young age.
Yeah.
Let's just make it normalised that everyone just does sign language while they're talking.
Yeah.
Because at that point, everyone knows a second language that is useful, even when it's just an optional thing, and for so many of us would be useful in later life.
Yeah.
You fancy that, Hug?
I do, yeah. That was definitely a thing to them. Yeah. Oh. I'm bloody glad that E3's over.
Oh, I've been nocturnal for a few nights.
Yeah, well, we'll have a nice cup of, have a nice chamomile tea.
Get to bed.
Yeah. Oh, good hug, mate. Good hug.
Good hug. Yeah. Let's pop the kettle on.
Yeah, I'll pop the kettle on and have that cup of tea.
Yeah.
Laura! Where can we find you on the internet, darling?
You can find me at Laura K. Buzz pretty much everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere.
Laura K. Buzz on Twitter, Twitch and YouTube. On Twitch, I stream on Mondays, Tuesdays and Fridays at 3 p.m. UK, 10 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. Pacific. Patreon.com/Laura K. Buzz, that's what pays the bills. You can find all of my work, be it podcasts, videos or written work, on laurakbuzz.com. I've got some books. Things I Learned from Mario's Butt is a book that's hopefully coming out at the end of the summer. You can support that on Unbound and get a bunch of backer rewards. I've got Uncomfortable Labels, which releases in about a month's time on July 18th. The audiobook releases on August 18th. You can get that on laurakbuzzstore.com. If you back me on Patreon, you can get a discount code for the audiobook. There is Dice Funk, it's a Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I'm on seasons 3, 4 and 5. Season 6 is about to kick off soon. There is also... I think that's most of it, actually. I did a bunch of E3 coverage. Go see it all on laurakbuzz.com. I'm going to have some... I have a new podcast, Tonal Whiplash. It's an interview podcast where I ask alternating silly and serious questions. Laura K. Buzz will be on My Brother and Me. You should go check that out.
Yeah, I reckon you should be on my bin.
I'm not saying why, but maybe in the next month you should check out Laura K. Buzz will be on MBMBAM.
I listened to that today as well. Sorry, that should have been in the listen section.
Yeah,
It's good.
You should maybe check that out for no reason whatsoever. Go check it out.
It's a show in which you interview yourself.
I get interviewed by a mysterious other person that's definitely not me.
There's literally someone else living in this house you could have asked to do other voices.
Well, yes, but also, I was doing all this while working 2 jobs. I was doing a lot of weird in the middle of the day recordings. And you know what? I think there is a certain charm to being interviewed by mysterious other person who we never acknowledge who is, and is definitely not me.
Absolutely. I apologise for casting nostalgia.
I know. I as lovely as it would have been to do a thing with you, mysterious other person. I think was a great interview.
I hope you're going to credit mysterious other person.
No, I think they should stay mysterious.
Okay. Well, no, would you not credit them as mysterious other person?
They just are. They just are. Yeah.
Don't say they aren't. How dare you?
I will hopefully have a couple more episodes of that in the next month. I have some ideas I'm trying to get lined up.
Do you think you can get a McElroy on one of those?
I am trying to get someone with the surname McElroy onto that show. I'm not saying who.
Not one of the McElroy brothers, just someone called McElroy.
They are a member of the McElroy family that I am trying to get onto an episode if I can line them up. We'll see.
Is it Sydney?
No. I'm not going to answer any more yes or no.
No,
I'll tell you it's not Sydney.
It's not Sydney.
I probably could have got Sydney, but Sydney's not who I'm going for. Anyway, where can you be found on the internet?
Where can I be found on the internet? I can be found on Twitter and YouTube as Maniac Janiac. On Twitch as Janiac, where I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I can be found on... let's see. I can be found on patreon.com/stonedmonkeyradio. I'm on stonedmonkeyradio.blog, where I occasionally write things. I need to get back to that, but I've been so busy.
I know, it's been a busy time.
It's been a very busy time. I also on paypal.me/JaneMagnet. As for Patreons, thank you to George Holt, Tales of Inquiry. Jürgen knows how to pronounce Edderkop in Norwegian, and J. Logan, Conduit of Queerness itself. Dice Funk listeners. So, sing us out, darling.
Until next time, be a stranger.
Oh well.